Hello, game on.
Hello, game on.
Double
Good
check your
evening,
car
everyone.
setup.
I am Righteous Fire, joined by Tack this evening, a rare occurrence.
Yeah, I'm here.
It's nice to have you. We are getting no audio
Oh,
from the game.
absolutely love to see it here. I will do my best impression of cars leaving the pits. They sound like this. Er, and this is them
Hey,
crossing the
there we
pit.
go.
Actually, okay.
All right, I got
Yep,
it.
there you go.
All I had to do was press start and come back. You know, Codemaster things. Anyway,
Yeah,
so we're here
well,
at
looks like
Zandvoort for the first race of Tier
Z
2 for
Zan
season...
Zandvoort. Yeah,
Zandvoort.
Zandvoort. Looks like we got a little bit of a passing going on before the last few corners. That's Meat Shield being overtaken by the Alpha Tauri of what was that? That wasn't Roast Fest. That was Astro. So Astro choosing to start his lap first. Hugs the turn one inside curb, nice and tight.
So we are on Astro.
Yeah, Alpha Tauri.
Who is... Oh. So many new names. Here we
Yeah,
go,
so
here we go, here we
Stroud
go.
is the reserve driver, and who else do we have reserving tonight? That would be Wags in the Mercedes. So Sadist and um, who else is out today? Lepson. Two drivers out today, but still a full grid. Astro is having a decent time so far. Unfortunately, Netherlands is one of those tracks where you can't. Ooh, rides that curb very aggressively. Doesn't invalidate the lap. But anyway, Netherlands is one of those tracks where you actually run out of ERS before the line if you keep it in mode 2 for the whole lap. And looks like Astro will have to suffer as a result. Hugs the right side of the track. Sets a 109.9. First lap on the board. Meat Shield quickly follows up, as does Atmosphere in the 11th. So Astro's provisional time pretty decent. We'll go on board now with some other cars finishing their laps. The second Williams actually invalidated there. So Drake and Wolf. Oh, sorry, he was late coming out of the pits. So he's just starting his lap.
We got Rosefest coming around the back end, finishing up his lap. He is a speedy boy, and 110.2, that's alright. We'd like to see higher around here. Not sure what Tier 2 is going to be putting down. Tier 1 was getting, what are we seeing, low 109s, 109.1 I think was, no, it was a 109.058 I think was the fastest lap last night.
Yep.
And Peach, the
Babu.
host, has left the session.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like it's affected anything. Everything seems to be going fine. Just figure out who
Yeah,
becomes king
wrong.
after this.
Alex, only driver on mediums right now, and he's setting his lap. We didn't see anybody, I don't think, quality on mediums last night in Tier 1 because the soft hard is pretty regular strategy on this track. But judging by the decisions of everyone on the softs, there won't be any late rain into the race. Peach had a downshift glitch, and he's rejoining. Interesting. Thank you, Kia, our trackside reporter, as Alex comes to the pits there. Does not want to finish his medium lap, as Wags come across the line in P6 provisionally.
Alright, so let's talk some Tier 2 drivers that have moved from Tier 1.
Yep.
Babu has come down.
Babu and Rosefest.
And Rosefest, yes.
Currently P1 and P5 have joined us from Tier 2. Was Peach in Tier 1 last season?
I've seen Peach everywhere, so I couldn't exactly tell you, unfortunately. But Babu definitely has some speed. Rose definitely has some speed. Babu has some issues with getting into trouble.
Well, Babu's just been so unlucky last season. A lot of incidents, including me taking him out in Austria, that just weren't his fault at all.
He had some
So hopefully he'll bounce back from that.
he had some very good qualifyings and a few different shots at podium, so we'll see if he's more comfortable here.
Well, a Trash Panda in the Merc tonight, sending a purple sector 2. Ooh. Kind of loses time there on the penultimate corner, though, riding the curve too much. Late on the power. And he keeps it flat across the line to set a 11-0. So that's just inside the top 10 there. Got the Egg now, setting his first lap. Going across turn 1. We'll see if the traffic ahead impacts him at all. Got a slow Renault in the name of Rad just ahead of him on his outlap. So yeah, Peach also coming down from T1. We'll see how his experience reflects in here. But speaking of experience, I think we don't have that many new drivers in Tier 1. We have more in Tier 2. Oh, sorry, in Tier 2 we don't have that many new drivers as we do in Tier 1. So you can't say that anyone's inexperienced. It's just more a fact of a matter of pace. But the thing about pace is that you can always find it. So we'll see if any Tier 2 drivers stand out this season and if they'll deserve a shot in Tier 1 for the next game.
A little bit of shuffling around. A lot of new drivers added to Tier 1. Definitely an exciting race last night. 2 full safety cars. And I believe 5 cars DNF'd. Gauzy going 10th fastest.
Gauzy setting a P10 time. Pretty close here in the midfield. We've got about a second separating P6 from P14. But at the top, it's Babu clear by 0.2 of a second. Astro, though, looking to improve on that time. He's at purple middle sector. Sorry, purple first sector there. Got Alex Terrier in front of him, who's out on the softs after abandoning his medium lap. Both of these drivers are on hot laps right now, so we'll see if Alex slows down, or does he... Oh, he catches a little bit of oversteer going wide, but this will actually give a huge slipstream for Astro. That would be very beneficial. Oh, as I come actually too close here, and Astro might actually get impeded here a little bit by Alex, who is going to dive into the pits and abandon this lap again. But Astro does improve only by 0.2, and he's 200ths away from taking provisional pole. But Babu still has that spot. Yeah, wondering if those 200ths of a second were lost there at the end.
Yeah, Alex had gone off wide in the second sector at the second right-hander, or before the second right-hander had gotten on the curbs, went off and took out all the braking boards. So he really should have gotten out of the way there, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. McLaren of Chewy coming across the line. He improves by a 10th, but still not enough. Cork 50, P3 right now. And also very close, also 200ths of a second separating the people on the second row of the grid. Rosefest in the other AlphaTauri behind his teammate Astro, hoping to maybe get a tow from him. It's a little bit too far ahead, but he has 0.2 to find here if he wants to move up to the top 4. Looks like he actually saved some ERS, but he's diving into the pits. Batting that lap. Must have been in the red on the Delta as Wags splits the or joins the 3 people with a 9.7. Very, very close at the top so far.
Very nice. Very nice.
Quality session.
Williams of Draken, I believe, coming around the bend, looking to improve on his poor time. Does not move up any positions, but does improve by 8.5 seconds.
Yeah, within 1/10 of MLG God. And Alex on his outlap. Oh, that's Quirk spun in sector 2. Looks like that might have been actually on his outlap. So he has 100% energy. Yeah, that was on his outlap. He has this 100% energy because he abandoned his lap. Anyway, we'll go on board with Draken or with Bonsaria here. He's starting his lap. But Babu improves actually by 0.4, almost 0.3. First driver to do a 109.3. Yeah, one sorry in the McLaren. Teammate is currently in P5. We'll see if he can find the top 10.
Keeping an
Sorry, one of those drivers who had showed some, really good drives every now and then in last season, but just needs to be a little bit more consistent.
Definitely. He's keeping it nice and tidy here through Sector 2 as he comes into the switchback section. Keeping it nice and clean, not getting out of control or locking up here as he comes around to the banked turn. Gets on the inside curb a little bit, but keeps it together. Hugging that inside line to the DRS, and we will see where he ends up. He should improve by 1.1 seconds up to P6, right behind his teammate.
Yeah, McLaren's locking out in the third row of the grid so far.
We also have
Work 50 is on a haul up here, seeing if he can improve. It's got to find 3/10 in order to do so, but so far, so good from him. Ooh, no, catches a little bit of oversteer coming out of the area where we saw that big incident in Tier 1 last night. It looks like he will probably abandon this one. I don't see him improving on his time, and yeah, he's going straight into the pits.
Still plenty of
some fresh soft.
Due to the short lap times around Zandvoort, which we will be doing, they will be doing 36 laps tonight. You can make the soft and medium combo work as long as you're easy on the tires. It can be a little bit of a stretch. Some might opt for the soft and hard combination. Likely to see some kind of safety car here since there aren't a lot of overtaking opportunities and the field is going to be pretty close in some areas. 2 full safety cars last night. I'm thinking at least 1 full safety car for this race.
Van coming across the line. This would be an improvement of 1.9 seconds. He's up into P2. What a lap from him. That's the Alfa Romeo up into 2nd place. And that's a front row lockup for the former T1 boys. Yeah, Van actually, last year in T1, last season in T1 also, forgot to mention him. But front row lockout for Babu and Van so far, provisionally, with 109.3 and 109.5.
Very nice laps from both of them. Alex still yet to set a lap.
Yeah.
A few 112s at the bottom.
Alex, he's going to be doing one-shot quali here. He hasn't had a lap yet. There's only time for one more go at it. Eric in the middle sector here in the racing point. Very, very tight, as we said earlier, in the middle field. Out in the 2nd gear there. We'll see if Eric can improve.
Oh,
into
Eric.
the top 10.
If you don't mind, I have to take a phone call real quick.
Alright, go for it as Eric improves by 0.6. Not quite enough to crack into the top 10, but P11 is not a bad place to start here in Zandvoort. Starting on the hards, going long in your first stint, having a lot of pace towards the end. Doing the rogue strat might be a good idea. As we start, we got about 4 minutes left in the qualifying session here. Got some top 6 drivers on their outlaps. We'll go on board here. Rich is spectating Rosefest who's in the pits, but I'll commentate Chewy's hot lap as he's starting it right now. That'll be the McLaren. Both McLarens actually on, or coming out of the pits here. Chewy taking turn 1 nice and comfortable here. Nice curb on the entry, but not so much hitting the apex on the inside of the corner. Keeps it in 6th. Ooh, yeah, I definitely could have hugged the apex there a little bit more than he did. But yeah, he's down about 1/10. Misses the apex there as well. He's gonna touch the grass, and that's pretty much lap over for him. I think he might have time to duck in the pits here and try again. I think that would be a smart play from him.
He would be cutting it very close. But
lap is, yeah, all but over here.
He would
Moving on to
Hey.
Wags here,
He's
who's
abandoning
in
his
sector
lap.
1 here. He's going to be trying to knock Astro down at least from that top 3.
Trash pan across
See
the
if he
line,
takes it
jumping
in
up to
sticks. He does.
P11.
Yeah, and Wags takes that corner nice and tight as with the beginning of this middle sector here. Short shift up to 4th, gets nice rotation there. Very late apex there on the power, nice and early. DRS straight. So far, a very tight line from Wags. We'll see his delta here. Yeah, almost 3.5 tenths up on his time. He needs just to pull it all together here. Might have a chance on provisional pole. Just needs to get a good exit here. Early on the power, hugging the right side here, and this will be a decent light from Wags. Coming across the line here. Does he get provisional pole? No, misses out by half a tenth of a second. Babushka's still on provisional pole, but he does split it to alphas. Astro does not improve on his time, and he's still going. He's got no ERS, but he has no time to charge. So, oh, actually, he can charge up for a lap and go again, but he's staying out.
Sorry to the chat. I was enjoying some cake earlier. That's the noise you were hearing.
P9, one ahead of his teammate. Oh, 2 milliseconds slower than his other lap, so he'll be staying as is, starting at P9 at least, maybe even lower. The Peach, he's 1.5 seconds, or sorry, 1.5 tenths of a second down on his delta, down at P16. As Van takes provisional pole with a 109.1. What a lap from him. And Alex finally sets the time in P12. But Van beats on provisional pole.
Van might have to be relegated back up into T1.
Where did this pace come from Van?
We're here with the Alpha of Rosefest trying to get some positions up and join his teammate in the top 5. We'll see if he can do it, and he does.
Yes, he does. 2 tenths improvement, and 300ths of a second ahead of Cork. Very, very close in the dying stages of this quali. I believe Rad is coming to the pits here. Alex just finished his lap. Peach just finished his lap, and EV. EV is the last one here on his hot lap. He's 2 tenths down on his delta. Needs to find 2 more tenths to beat out Michio in P17. But he's out of ERS, out of fuel, and he's not going to improve on his time. So Van Beats leads the Alfa Romeos on the front row of the grid for our first race of the season. I mean, if you would have told me that an Alfa Romeo driver would be on pole, I would have assumed it was going to be Babu. But Van pulled that lap out from nowhere. 109.1 would have been a really good lap in Tier 1 last night, let alone Tier 2, so congrats to him.
Very well done. We should see some decent fighting from the top 5, hopefully, unless Van decides to just walk away with this one. But the midfield very close to each other. So I think that's might be where the excitement comes in for this race.
Yeah,
So-
last night we saw some strategy and some team orders play into, you know, the safety car restarts between the Williams guys. And now we have the front row locked out by Alfa Romeo. We'll see if we see some of the same, you know, controversial behavior as we saw last night. Everyone opting on the softs, as you would expect, and top 7, sorry, within a second of each other. And 1
then-
second between 7th and 17th. So yeah, very, very close here as we saw last night as well. Hoping for more of the same throughout the season.
I hope this keeps up. I hope we hope we made the right decisions for who we put where, or who ended up where rather, because we didn't necessarily put anybody. Tier 2 again, mostly the same drivers. There are a few that came down from Tier 1 because they just didn't want to race on Sundays anymore.
Oh, look at that. It's raining. It's a wet start here in Zandvoort. Ooh, okay, so this is gonna be very, very interesting to see how strategy plays out. See how long this race starts. This rain, how long this rain lasts is what I meant to say. Um, a couple of people were worried about this last night in Tier 1. We got away with it without any rain. It's like maybe inters to the start. It doesn't look like heavy rain to me.
And do we have a pit reporter that we can pull in and see if we can get a weather report? Our forecaster.
20 minutes.
20
according
minutes.
to Mr. Chipsy in the chat.
Well, this start's about to get a lot more interesting then.
Yeah, so everyone's starting on the intermediate tires. Not much to see there. I'll switch to my mine to position change just so we can get some info off the start.
Oop, Quirk going wide into turn 1 on the formation lap. Got off to kind of a slow start, so hopefully it didn't cause any problems for anybody.
Last night we saw a surprisingly clean start from T1. Do we expect the same from Tier 2, considering, you know, a bit of a slower driver lineup and a wet start, or do we see, you know, people erring the side of caution first race of the season, you know, just want to get home in one piece?
I think we got a lot more. The rain, as they say, is the great equalizer. So there's going to be a lot of drivers not comfortable with starting in the rain that are going to get great starts on everyone else, and I feel like we're going to enter into a three-wide situation in turn 1.
We have 3 DSQs for contact under formation lap. So 17 through 19 looks like they had a bit of an incident there. They'll be sent all the way back to the grid.
Kia saying that we should have a full safety car by turn 3.
I'm gonna say we'll have a safety car by the end of the lap, but not. Actually, no, I'm gonna say VSC in the sector 3 long left-hander where we saw the incident last night. I'm gonna say there's gonna be a big pile up there. I'm gonna have a VSC there. That's gonna be my prediction. It's due to rain for 20 minutes, Jade Games, according to our weather analyst. So stick with us here. We should see about 15 to 20 laps of this racing before we switch onto probably the mediums. I would say mediums will last comfortably. Maybe some people even go for the softs. And we're about to, you know, see the moment of truth. This is the moment of truth right here. Righteous. Will the lights go out for us when they are supposed to? Chat, give us your predictions. Does having a driver host fix the issues of early lights?
We'll find out. It's 3, 4, 5 lights. Quiet.
And they go out when we say.
Ooh, Racing Point getting off to a bad start, heading left.
That's gonna be Eric. Eric, and already front wings on the ground, flying out. That's Eric. Too much wheel spin off the line for him. Oh, that's gonna be Williams taking that turn too aggressively. My deltas are completely glitched. I have Alex leading the race.
Me as well.
As you do as well. But that's not the case here. Calamity on our racing lines here. We have one bug fixed and another out of thin air. It's very hard to see what's going on here. But we have 2 McLarens ghosted for me. We have blue flags on the screen. What is going on here? Okay.
It says lap 2 at the top.
It says lap 2 at the top. Do we see this?
It should sort itself out.
It's fixed. It's fixed. Okay, deltas are fixed. Babu is taking the lead now. Van down into P2. Already a second between them as Wags all up in Van's tail here. Using overtake into that middle part of the track. But very clean throughout this opening lap, despite the bugs that are going on. Hopefully it's just on our end and not on the drivers. But yeah, Van looks like he's under pressure from Wags, who's going to use overtake. Oh, touched the wall there a little bit. But he's going to look for a move down the inside here. No, just trying to throw Van off. Doesn't give him a little bit of tap. Going across turn 1.
Van keeping it together twice.
Maintains the position.
Keeping it together
now,
quite well.
And Astro. Wait, Astro?
Astro in 4th and Rosefest still in 5th, so the top 5 have not changed.
Astro was ghosted for me. And he's might be getting blue flags.
I am not seeing that on my end.
Yeah, I see Astro's ghosted, and his car is behind Wags, but he's in P7 on my timing monitor. P6 now, P5 now. Okay, it's glitching again.
Yep. Well, let's not worry about what's happening on the boards. Let's just worry about what's happening on track, and hopefully everything will be fine.
Tail of Van here. Very, very close here. Van feeling the pressure, you know, first pole in a very, very long time. The last time he got a pole was in Russia in one-shot qualifying, but Wags sends it down the inside of Van. Van keeps the position, though. Can he run the outside? Coming to the next corner. No, has to lift there to avoid getting sent to the wall. And Van survives for another sector here, but during this time, Babu is just pulling away. Huge gap now in front of Van Beats.
Oh, Wags gets sideways coming out of the bank turn.
Yeah, Wags completely loses it. And he's going to be facing the wrong way. Losing his front wing. And his chances at a podium.
It's very unfortunate. Yeah, he loses his front wing, gets sideways, and good thing, and gets a speeding in the pit lane.
Measure. Unfortunate from him, but now Astro says thank you very much. It's going to be my turn to challenge Van Beats for the second position in the race. Both AlphaTauris. Oh, Van just lagged. Oh, Van just lagged and lost the position. Astro moves up to P2 completely because of Van's piss poor internet connection. I think the manager, his nearest McDonald's, will have a word about that after the race. But now Rosefest all up behind Van, hoping for another leg spike on his end. But already 4 seconds separating front 2. We'll see if Astro starts to chip away at that lead that Babu now has.
Both McLaren still holding pretty well in 5th and 7th there. Alex getting in between them in P6. And Alex gaining 6 positions off the start. The Peach down in 9th, gaining 7 positions. So we've seen some decent movement from a few drivers around here. Everyone seemed to be holding it together pretty well. The field's starting to spread out a little bit more. This battle for second place, though, between the Alpha Van and the 2 AlphaTauris, Alfa Romeo Van and the 2 AlphaTauris, is going to be quite close.
Astro's at the fastest time. We'll see that interval go down as he's chasing Babushka and Rosefest. Actually, we're going with Atmosphere here. They're in a little bit of a 3-way battle for P8 at the moment. The Peach did very well to start to gain 8 places, but now he's under pressure from the Renault, who's gaining momentum on him. Oh, they touch, and Atmosphere goes onto the grass. They're losing a bit of time. Gauzy Egg now is looking for the inside move, and he commits, and they touch, and Gauzy Egg half spins. Oh, just saves it. Doesn't go sent to the wall, but loses 1, 2, 3 positions off of that contact between him and Atmosphere. A little bit too aggressive there, a little bit too ambitious, and now he's sent wide as well. Let's see if he got any damage. No damage to his end plates, but still up 2 positions from where he started, but he's lost 3 as a cause of that contact. Now MLG God, Trash Bandit, Atmosphere, and Gauzy Egg, and Radical.
And that turn there is exactly where I said earlier today to some of the drivers that people are going to be looking to make moves down the inside there, and someone went for it, and it did not go so well. Luckily for Atmosphere.
Astro 4/10 faster that lap on Babu, and they are by far the fastest people on the track at the moment. Radical sends it down the inside into turn 1. MLG God gives him enough space, and that's the P11 from him. Both Haas drivers now looking to gain that position back. Oh, it's Gauzy. That's been a bug for me, but it sounded like he went up down into neutral.
I heard that as well. Yeah, he over-revved for a little bit. Seems to have lost a little bit of time off of that. Wags now with the fastest lap with a 122 flat. Down to 19th, trying to gain back all those positions he lost after losing it. And Atmosphere.
Oh, it's Atmosphere into the wall. Atmosphere into the wall. Same spot that he had trouble in last lap. It looks like he does have front wing damage. And that's one Renault that's going to be going into the pits this lap. And there's still a battle going on between the two Haas's and the Renault and Trash Panda up ahead for P9.
Jeff is telling some of the drivers, dries soon. Dries soon. Whatever that means.
Well, the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped here. So track will be drying up here momentarily. And now the question becomes, it's the hards should probably last the entire the rest of the race. But will people go for, you know, a medium soft here to end the race on dries? We'll have to see what Jeff is telling people. But you can see people on inters already struggling, you know, overheating their tires.
Well, quick interrupt for you. Rosefest and Chewy both got by Van. It looked like he was having a little trouble there coming out of the first hairpin. He's lost down now into P5 with Juan right on his tail as well. So
and Jake and Wolf just came in for fresh inters, as did Atmosphere. So both of them staying out on inters. They'll have to come back into the pits in a couple laps. Van here getting passed by Chewy now. Down into P5. Our pole sitter having some issues with the race, but hopefully now that's going to be dry soon. It'd be a better experience for him, as we have a Ferrari. I believe it's going to be, yeah, Evie down in last place out in turn 1. Had a bit of a moment there. Oh, and he's going to be into the wall again. He spun, yeah, as I said earlier.
DRS enabled, DRS enabled.
Tires. He resets the track, which is allowed in Tier 2. DRS,
Elite,
as you said, enabled.
Elite Race Engineer Kia has said soft softs.
But Babu and Astro staying out, so this will be very interesting to look at. Everyone behind them is coming to the pits.
I do
Astro,
believe
Babu, and Chewy staying out.
I do believe they were too far past the pit lane by the time DRS was enabled for them to get that notice. So we'll
the
see.
Peach is on full wets. The Peach is on full wet tires. That's a huge blunder from him. That was not what he wanted. The Red Bull car on the full wets, just like I believe Pfeiffer was in Baku in one of our first races. But now Trash Panda will have to pass Peach, who is on full wet tires. Going to be much, much slower than him. That's going to be very, very interesting considering how narrow this track is. Easier said than done from Peach or from Panda, who is still struggling with the spray on the medium tires. And we'll go on board now with Rosefest, who's on the back of MLG God, who's still out on the intermediate tires up into P4. And that's very, very, very easy from him just on traction. Rosefest up into P4. Babu will be going to the pits here, as do the rest of the top 3. Wait, Babu's staying out again.
Ooh.
Babu is staying out again.
I don't know if that's such a good move. Rosefest is 16.5 seconds.
Astro picks up a speeding in the pit lane penalty. But yeah, everybody else staying coming in. Babu though.
We're looking at the.
Not sure if that was the right play. We're gonna go gap to leader here, just so we can see just how much time Rosas is gaining onto Babu. Rosas is actually gonna be leaving, or Chewy leaving the pits ahead. So Chewy staying out for one extra lap keeps him in P3 and has one lap fresher tires. But looking at the gap to the leader, we'll see. Yeah, you can see just how fast that delta's coming down. Astro gaining about a 10th per. Yeah, it's gonna be like 2 or 3 seconds faster this lap, I think, from Astro, and that's gonna be a Red Bull that's gonna be losing it in the middle sector, or the last sector here. That's gonna be the Peach, I believe. Oh no, that wasn't the Peach. Who was that?
From who?
That was Zrout. I lost it in the sector 3. But yeah, Babu losing so much time here. He's gonna come out, I think, in P5 or P4.
He should probably come out around P5. And but Astro, who's going to inherit the race lead, has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits.
Yeah. So we'll see if. Well, Astro does have a decent gap behind him, so if he can pull away and not let Chewy or Rosefest catch his DRS, he has a shot of making that gap work, as Rosefest has to pass his time. He's all up in Chewy's tail here, who did stay at 1 lap longer on the intermediates.
Babu
You see some lap cars. Oh no, that's Babu coming out of the pits. Yeah, and Astro inheriting the race lead. I guess it is a short pit stop here in Zandvoort, but
very interesting. Electing to go on the hard tires probably one of those extra couple laps so he could take them to the end
yeah,
as best as possible, knowing that everyone else is going to have to pit at least once, and he and his teammate will be able to stay out. So
yeah, bringing up a good point. A soft would actually be possible if you pit, lap 8, and do 14 laps on each, easy. That'll make you faster, I think. So not a lot of drivers going for the softs here. Babu hoping for a 1-stop to the end on the hards. You just have to keep the head down here and race, because I don't think Astro would definitely not make it to the end on the mediums. So it looks like both Alphas going for the 1-stop, and everyone else around them going for the 2-stop here. And I might have to eat my words on what I said about Babu staying out. Might have been a smart call in the long run. We'll have to wait and see.
he does have Chewy, and I have to sneeze.
Rad now behind Swansari, a little bit of train warming up behind who is that? Trash Panda. Radical now is going to go wheel to wheel with Juan Saria through this fast little serpentine sector. Does not want to be overly aggressive here. We'll just wait for an overtaking opportunity. Oh, catch a little bit of dirty air, and that'll make him lose a little bit of time. But Juan Saria goes wide as well in the next corner, and misses the apex quite significantly. Does the McLaren coming up on the DRS zone now? Juan will have DRS courtesy of the Ferrari, but we'll have to see how aggressive Rad is on his DRS. He's got a lot to work with, as does the car ahead. Yeah, being third in a DRS train, especially on this track, is very, very frustrating. As Rosefest gets by Chewy, they're side by side going to turn 1. Chewy has the inside. They're side by side still going into the next corner, and Rosefest has the position up into P3. Good move from him around the outside. I sort of missed that, but good move from him up to the podium positions. Now the race is on for him to catch up to Babu, who is on the slower tire at the moment. We'll go on board back with Radical, who's all over the Husky chocolate rear front wing, a rear ring of Juansaria. They're side by side now. Juansaria gets a bad exit coming that corner, and he loses that position to Rad up into P8. Rad, saw his opportunity, saw the mistake from Juan, and up into P8 he goes. Now his next target is gonna be Alex, who does not have DRS. So this would be a good challenge for him. The two Haas's now battling for the last point here. Gauzy Egg going a little bit wide there. His teammate behind him does have a penalty. So we'll see if team orders play a factor here. Astro setting the faster time on those mediums with 13.0.
He just took it from Wags, who set it last lap on the hard tires, so I got some pace on those hards. Trying to work his way back up to the field after his earlier mishap. Oh, good start.
And Rad now sending it down the inside of Alex. Alex leaves the door wide open, and they're going to maintain this battle up through Sector 2. Radical passed someone on this corner of the track last time. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. That was cleared up quite quickly. I think that might have been a Williams of meat shield, but Alex looks like he's pushing a little bit. Yeah, Alex using a lot of ERS here. Tried to build the gap behind him, but he goes very wide. Oh, rejoins the track a little bit dangerously there. Radical has to avoid the slow Alex coming out the back of the track. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him on this DRS straight. Alex again going wide. That'll compromise his exit. overtake on for Brad for a second there. Has DRS. He's going to be saving that, though, I think, for the main straight. But expect an easy overtake here after a few corners. Juan Saria, you know, in the shadows behind him as well. Yeah, Alex feeling the pressure now. Might even not see the... Oh, so Alex still pushing hard, using all of his overtake. But it doesn't matter. They're almost 3 wide. Oh, does he lose 2 positions here in the same corner? Oh, gets a touch there from the McLaren on the inside. Alex almost lost 2 positions there. But maintains one of them now. Juan, like we said earlier, very difficult for him to be third in a DRS train, as 5 cars now in this little train. And Rosefest has already caught up to Babu, already has DRS. And we'll see if he can make the move stick in the next couple of laps here. We got a racing point of Quark out of Sector 1, facing the wrong way. Unfortunate from him. But Rosefest has to push now. He's going to make that 2-stop work. He needs to pass Babu and pull away before coming back into the pits. Babu needs to just play it careful, play it safe, avoid any incidents, and bring those hard tires home. Still in a very good spot for the race. As is Van, actually. Both in top 5 on the hards, last in the whole race.
Yeah, they if they keep this up, they will have a quite a decent gap on their hands by the time the pit window rolls around, probably in about
looks like
14 laps.
Alex is pitting for fresh front wing. Looks like he was caught up in an incident that we didn't catch, but Rosefest very, very close now. He's got some lapped cars that might give Babu DRS. Yeah, they do. So yeah, Babu gets a little bit of a help from the back markers.
Doing their best to get out of the way on this very tight track. They did a pretty good job, even though they are ghosted.
Yep.
Rose keeping that distance, not making those mediums work as well for him as he would have hoped. Also giving Chewy kind of a chance to potentially catch up. I think Chewy's going to get DRS off of the Peach, which should bring them closer in. So Van's still back there.
Time under that DRS. We've got a yellow flag for a Williams. I think it's going to be Draken. Ooh, big lock there from Rosefest, but you can see how close he is. Babu catching a little bit of oversteer. Both drivers, you can tell they're pushing very, very hard to maintain track position. Would have been interesting to see if Van didn't have those issues, you know, kept, you know, P1 or P2. If we saw something similar, you know, some cars, or one of the cars driving a little bit slower, letting the other one pull away. Valtteri Bottas.
Ooh, Babu getting loose.
A lot there.
Babu getting very loose, and now Rosefest is really going to be on his tail looking for this opportunity. He doesn't have a lot of ERS to use, but he does have enough to make a move stick right now. And since he's kind of matching Babu's pace, I think he is, if he can make this work at the end of the straight, I think he should be able to keep that position, at least for the time being. Although Babu will inherit it back. Babu getting a much better exit into the bank turn. Rosefest not electing to use a lot of his DRS, just closing the gap with the DRS alone.
Babu did use his energy there to pull away or to maintain his position, so definitely not really playing the long game, just worried about right now, his position right now.
Well, Chewy has started to catch up now. He's within the DRS range. He was floating just past a second off the back of Rosefest, so he might join the fight here pretty soon, but we do have Juan very close to Radical, looking for that P7. Both of them on the medium tires, I believe. Yes. So they are fighting for on-track position. MLG God still sticking with his teammate, not doing much. He does have that penalty, so it may not be worth it to try and pass him unless they can help each other out and get him some more time so that penalty doesn't affect him as much. Wag's now up to P11. He is 21 seconds off of P10. But he is on those hard tires, so he will gain a few positions when the pit stops roll around.
We
Looks
have
like
a
we have a
Ferrari
Ferrari.
racing backwards. That's going to be EV coming out of turn 1. He might have given Van a little bit of a scare there. As Juan Saria does pass Radical on the main straight.
Rad getting very close to the gearbox of Juan.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be trading positions here. Pull away from Ghazi behind. He was still under pressure from his teammate in the Haas. Rosefest charging up his energy, doesn't want to be too aggressive here.
Well,
Yeah, it is very hard to overtake on this track.
so I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I would have expected at least some kind of safety car. I'm not saying that, you know, these guys are so bad that that should happen, but with all those wet conditions, I'm very shocked that things didn't go that badly. And
Yeah.
although we had a few spins and some top runners fall back a little bit, things kind of panned out. Van losing out 4 positions, but I think he's in a good place to take a podium right now. So at least make something out of that. Is Rad attempting to, Juan attempting to break Rad's slipstream, but Rad is not giving up.
Looks like EV has disconnected. We talked about this earlier, but Astro actually, even with that penalty right now, is still the race leader. He's gapped Baba behind him.
Rose is very close to Babu now.
Again, Rosefest, yeah, gets a much better exit, and they're gonna be side by side into the Mr. Hood corner here. And Rosefest takes the position. It's an AlphaTauri 1-2. But we'll still have to find out how long the mediums can last, how much pace those softs will have at the end of the race, and how, you know, how many overtakes Rosefest has to do on his last stint. This race, everything but over, as we can see now. Babu's pit window's open for mediums, but I don't think he was gonna pit again. He pitted lap 10. Yeah, he'll take those hards at the end quite easily.
Jeff has told the Alfa Romeo team rain again in 10 to 15 minutes.
Wow.
I'm trying to get my Streamlabs.
That might explain all the medium runners then. I've never seen a wet, dry, wet race in a league race before.
Streamlabs, there we go. Yeah, Babu's tire's not too worn. Rosefest also not too far off, about in the 30s, so they're kind of equal here. So if the rain does come, then it's all for naught. But if it doesn't, or if it doesn't enough to affect them, now 10 to 15 minutes, so you know we're getting really close to the end of the race there. Just over, you know, it's about a minute 15, give or take, per lap. You know, that's real close to the end of the race, even at 10 minutes, or 10 or 15 minutes. So I don't know. We'll see how hard it falls.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game here. Yeah, I wonder. I still don't understand the different, you know, seeing so many people off mediums. If they pit for softs and the rate comes out now, they would have been fine still. Softs lost about 14 laps here, so you know, they definitely know something we don't. I still think Bob is on the right strategy here if it doesn't rain, but if it does, I definitely see why the mediums will come in handy. 16 laps to go here.
Well, the other thing is,
sorry, go ahead.
They could just be doing what Jeff says. Jeff says hard tires. We're going hard tires. I mean, who knows? We didn't get the report before the race. All we knew is when the rain would end, so it's anyone's guess at this point. But yeah, like you were saying, Chewy now catching up to both of these guys. They're still falling off Astro a little bit, not too much, but if the rain does come again, I'm gonna throw another wrench into the works, and we could see some position changes happening.
And important to note that if it does rain and drivers do come into the pits, Astro will serve its 5-second time penalty. So on track is where we'll see all the battles and not won't have to do any math, which is good to see. Rosefest getting some DRS from Quirk, who's being lapped here and lets everyone go by. Overtake on Babu. He's using a lot of energy here. I think this is the period of time where we'll see a lot of people pushing. You know, track position before the rain is huge because there's no DRS. It's a lot harder to pass. So we might see some people burning energy now.
A few clouds in the sky. I mean, it looks pretty clear, but I guess that Dutch weather can get kind of wild. Some gaps forming now in the midfield. Not too many battles going on. This is just the battle for P2, and given a penalty served from Astro, potentially a four-way battle for first place.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm Astro right now, I'm pushing very hard before the pit stop, trying to build that gap as much as I can. Especially if I know that my teammate is behind me and he's, you know, pushing a lot, using a lot of energy.
Babu has fallen off the back of Rosefest, and Chewy is now within half a second.
Mercedes of Trash Panda into the wall.
Babu does not get DRS on Rose. Chewy does, but does not make anything stick this go around. The Trash Panda has pulled off to the side of the road, it looks like. And he is now rejoining the track.
I have the engine bug from him, so I'm not gonna make myself listen to that.
Now, AlphaTauri going off.
Oh, Chewy's off! Chewy's off! He catches some oversteer, overcorrects it, and that's gonna be a front wing damage for him. Ooh.
It does look like
unfortunate from him.
he lost his right side end plate there.
Baba picks up a 3-second time penalty. I'll do a quick warning check for the for yourself as well as everyone racing.
And not a lot of
fest with no warnings. Van Beats with no warnings. Astro with, so he has to serve that 5-second plus. He has 2 warnings, so he's in danger of serving another one. Chewy with 2 warnings. Juan is clear. Rad has 2 warnings, I believe. That's hard to tell from that. Well, G-God with 2 wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 warnings. It doesn't have a penalty yet. I don't really understand. Might have been for collisions. Anyway.
Ooh, Babu, Rosefest parking it on that corner, forcing Babu to go wide and lock up. As they are battling hard for this P2 position. Van now moving up into 4th place with 13 seconds behind him. Juan there, so he's very comfortable for a P4 finish at the moment.
And Babu just picked up another warning.
And he's been cutting that inside corner of the switchback chicane.
Yep. Still maintaining that sub 1 second gap, as Rosefest mediums will now start to wear. This is where we'll see the advantage from Babu on faster tires, despite them being and they're 2 laps younger. So
We're now 6 minutes into the 10 to 15 minutes to rain here, and
Rad is pitting for softs here.
the weather still looks pretty clear.
Yeah, so not sure if that rain will come, because if it's gonna come,
I'm seeing
I don't think would have pitted, but
I'm seeing some potential dark clouds in the sky. But if Rad's going on the softs here, maybe he knows something we don't know right now.
Jeff is quite inconsistent in terms of saying how long until the rain comes. So it could be a chance of Jeff screwing some drivers over in terms of his prediction. Babu gaining lots of time here on the straight, using some energy, as is Rosefest. We have another driver coming out of the pits. That's Eric, who's gets a penalty for crossing the pit exit, a white line. It's a rare occurrence to see. Yeah, Babu now.
Babu really
aggressive.
Hammering that left front tire at 47% wear, according to our telemetry. But all tires of Rosefest well over 40% wear.
More drivers coming into the pits. Where is that? Juan. Yeah, Juan. Juan just put old mediums on. I think it has to be a bug.
Yeah, because his interval's stuck as well.
Yeah, I just saw him leave the pits and he says he's on 17 lap on mediums, so it must be a bug there. Chewy got that wing change. Now he's challenging MLG God for P6. So
I'm going to walk back what I said earlier. The sky is darkening.
Yeah.
There's still sunlight, but the sky, the clouds are darkening.
Very close from Chewy there. Needs to be careful here. And yeah, MLG God in front of you is on the older mediums. You're much faster right now, but just pick your time. Go overtake on for both drivers, but MLG God, it's a lot less energy to play around with, and yeah, he's gonna be losing this position on the straight. Fights for it, actually breaks very late into turn 1, but Chewy does a switchback. They're still side by side going to turns 3 and 4. Does Chewy keep battling this? Takes the outside line. Oh, they touch. Chewy must be getting very frustrated here. And yeah, dark clouds have returned over the Zandvoort sky. Astro was pulled away from Rosefest by about half a second since we last checked in with them. So interesting to note, if they do a double stack, Astro will have to serve his time penalty. So it'd be very, very difficult for Rosefest to pit the same lap as Astro. Same with Babu and Van, although Babu and Van does have a bigger gap from him. But if they do elect to pit at the same time, the 2 Alfa Romeos, or so Alfa Tauris, I'm not sure they'll get away with it. I think Rosefest will have to either do another lap or do an undercut.
Yeah, as it looks right now, the rain is coming, and they're going to have to time this very well, because if they do, Rosefest is going to lose out on a podium chance. Could just be me, but
I think Babu goes for the move here. He knows the rain's coming early.
I'm starting to see a few drops, I believe. Nothing substantial at the moment, but I think I see a few drops here and there.
Overtake on Babu. He's got no energy to play with at all. Pushing very, very hard for track position. Oh, brakes very late. Both drivers locking up. Rosefest actually gained a lot of time now to Astro that lap. Astro Not sure what's wrong with his pace, but he's losing a bit of time.
Ooh, Babu getting in the grass there a little bit. Looks like I might got him loose coming out of the hairpin. He is still
Chewy
within
now.
a quarter second.
Chewy now making another overtake attempt on MLG God. MLG God doesn't cover the inside fully, and Chewy takes that inside line. And yeah, that'll be job done for him. Oh, actually, MLG God's still fighting it. But I don't think this would be a smart play for him. No, he just needs to...
Blue flag from Juan. Ghosted car now joining that fight.
Yeah, Juan trying to unlap himself. He's on fresh softs, so I understand why, but a bit tricky to do so. We have a yellow flag. Looks like a Red Bull off. I believe it's going to be Zrout.
Should not impede.
No, it's Peach. I gotta give props to Rose.
Oh, you know what? Juan was not a blue flag. The board was bugged again. Juan was there battling for position.
Oh. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Because he is now in 7th place. So either he went
oh, right.
800 miles an hour.
Yeah, so he... Yeah, we mentioned him earlier. Some more...
But he got a little tangled and bumped into MLG there towards the end of the last lap, and has little dirty move from him, but he has taken the position and joined his teammate up in P7.
It is cloudy, but I don't see any rain as of yet. Babu drawing the curbs on exit a lot throughout these corners. Rosfest maintaining that gap.
Let's do a tire wear check-in here. Astro on those mediums now up to 70% on his left side tires, 60% on his right rear, and 59 on the right front, it looks like.
Yeah, if I'm a medium runner right now in the top 5, I'm praying for this rain to start dropping as soon as possible, because last night we saw QB with a puncture. Granted, it was on full damage as Jake and Wolf. Ghosted car lost in that area of the track. Still, we have seen punctures in Tier 2 in the past.
It's possible. Very unlikely, but it has happened. Now, Rosefest just... If they're not going to pit, he needs to make up more than half a second in order to take that position from his teammate. Not sure if... Babu getting loose.
Babu is really struggling on these hards. I think he's just overheating them.
He is trying to push very hard to keep up. I think it might be time for him to... Knowing he has this penalty. Unless he can force Rosefest into a penalty and battle for that position, I think Babu's not going to get this position.
Yeah, I mean...
It's unfortunate.
Difficult to say. I mean, Rosas is on old mediums, and he's very, very close to him right now. I think even if the rain drops now, this will still take maybe 2 or 3 laps to switch to the inters, so we might not see any more pit stops here. I think the mediums might have been a gamble that haven't paid off, to be honest. To be fair, I am surprised that the hards don't seem to be kicking in at the moment. What is Rosefest's tire wear?
He is well over 70% on his front left, 67% on the rear left, 63 right front, and 55 right rear. So these tires putting in work. Babu using all the overtake he has left and DRS, trying to get around Rosefest. If he thinks he's got the pace to make the stick. Ooh, and a little bit of contact. I heard that. I didn't see it. But Rosefest has now dropped back. Rosefest does have some right wing damage. Still has his end plate, but it's a little bit yellowed on the on the old telemetry there. So if Babu gets away with that and no report, and he can pull another second by the end of the race, then he will keep P2. It's an interesting turn of events.
Struggling in the cards. Still 3 laps to go here.
Rosefest has now dropped, since we've been talking, Rosefest has now dropped down 3 to 4 tenths. Now 2.5, 2.7, 2.6, and falling off of Babu. So maybe those mediums are
here at the end. Gets the fastest lap. Doesn't risk the puncture.
That front left tire over 80% now. Astro, all his under 80, but well into the 70s on the left-hand side.
I'm pitting here. Nope, he stays out.
No, he's got a
go on these medium.
Yeah, Babu's got a clear 3 seconds.
Yeah.
To him in order to make that work, and I don't know if I'm seeing rain or not. It looks like every once in a while there might be a drop, but it could just be something else. But Babu's cleared Rosefest now, and might just keep that P2.
Well, if you guys are complaining that this game is not authentic, certainly reminds me of a real F1 race where we get rain right after the race ends.
Yeah, but also not like real life races where you can't take these tires that long without something happening.
Well, I mean, in real life, this would be 52 laps on mediums. I don't think they would be very happy after 52 laps.
No, they wouldn't even do it. Looks like yellow flag.
Yeah, Rosas is really struggling now. And Van finding some pace towards the end of this race.
Can Van take the position in the next lap and a half?
Gonna be close. Babu now within 2 seconds of the race win. He's gaining a lot of time very, very quickly. Here's the rain. I saw a drop now.
Oh, I got some drops on the camera.
The rain is here.
Ooh, so this is that moment. Does the track get slick? You keep pushing and potentially ruin a podium by trying to make that time up. He now has 1.5 seconds to gain on this lap to Astro to hopefully take this win. Rosefest has fallen now 9.5 seconds off the back of Babu.
Yeah.
That was a hard fight, and he really lasted as long as he could, but
Oh, Astro looks like he had a bit of an issue. Look how much time Babu's gained.
I did
He's
not
right on the tail of him.
did not even notice that. He is right on the back of him.
It must have been something that happened with Astro. Might have maybe half spun or something, but he lost about 3 seconds very, very quickly. Now, with Babu having 2 seconds less penalties than Astro, this is the last lap of the race. Babu doesn't even need to make an overtake here.
No, just stay comfortable. Stay comfortable, stay on the track, don't lose it, and you'll take that win. Yeah, all of Astro's tires are extremely worn. They're essentially riding on bands at this point.
Well, Vans isn't P4.
Well, I said bands, not vans. The tire bands. But here Babu goes, and he's going for the overtake anyway at the line to take it. And Babu will take P1. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, we talked about him staying out those extra few laps under the wet conditions. Looks like they were paying off.
Rosefest taking P3. Van crossing line for P4. 22 seconds clear of Chewy, who I believe just got... No. Looks like someone else dropped back. They were in 6th and 7th, but Chewy will take P5, and his McLaren teammate will join him in P6.
And good recovery drive from Wags after that incident at the beginning. Up into P7 now after MOG got its penalty.
Yep.
I think he'll be happy with that.
Rad crossing line at P9, but will
P9,
inherit P8 for a moment before falling back to P9. MLG rounding out the top 10 as the rest of the grid is lapped and finishes their race, except Zorout.
Who's your driver of the day tonight? Because I am struggling to pick one. Well, look at the positions gained. Oh,
Or not.
Oh.
We'll see it on the next screen. Wow. Crazy. Little rain scare at the end there. Starting on rain. Cody's say Gauzy is the driver of the day. Probably just due to positions gained. That's usually how they divvy it out. But two AlphaTauris on the podium and an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, B15 to B8. It's pretty good. I think, yeah, Peach did get fastest lap there at the end. I think he pit for fresh softs.
Yeah, some of those guys were on the softs. Juan had it at some point, but it got taken away from him. Well, very nice win from Babu to come from P2. Yeah, Gauzy getting points position after starting P15. Both the Haas's actually moving up to get points positions today. The Alfa Romeos being split by the AlphaTauris. And both McLarens finishing pretty high. Wags recovering, starting P3, falling all the way back to the back in the first few laps of the race, and then recovering up to P7. So, very interesting race.
No safety cars, no VSCs at all that race. Pretty impressive from the boys.
You know what? I need to get the race director before I...
All right. Meanwhile, I will bring in our race winner, Babushka. Babu, congrats.
Congratulations. Well fought. Wow. You made those hards work. I mean, Rosefest looked like he had your number for quite a while.
He did. Yeah, no, he did. You know, he always seemed to pick up a little bit of time in the middle sector on me. But obviously, I could tell that he was struggling on those mediums, and realistically, I should have pitted a lap earlier. I think I gave up a lot of time. I honestly think I could have come out ahead of Astro had I pitted a lap earlier. But yeah, that was satisfying. Yeah, just really happy with it.
Yeah, so explain your reasoning behind staying out on those inters for an extra couple of laps, because at the time, yeah, we saw you losing so much time, but then maybe we thought you were planning on the hards to the end and weren't sure if they were going to make it.
It was really just a difference of a single lap. Van, my teammate, had come in as I started another lap on them, and he was going on to the hards. And at that point, during that entire lap, I felt really good on the inners. I didn't feel like I was losing much time, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay out just one more lap just to make sure it's the right time to go on the hards. And as soon as I started that next lap, I could feel that the tires were gone. And so, yeah, the smarter choice would have been to pit earlier. I think I kind of outthought myself on that one, but just glad I was able to get back within range to get the win.
Yeah, well, it was fun watching you. Even though, yeah, you really struggled on those hards at the end there. Lots of oversteer. Were you overheating them towards the end? Because it looked like you were struggling for rear grip there.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, I was definitely fighting the rear in certain places, especially like that slow left-hander in the middle sector. You have to be really delicate there. And so, yeah, I was definitely struggling for grip there. And, especially towards the end, I was just making sure I didn't get any more extended tracks, because I was pretty disappointed to get the first one. And realistically, I thought when I got that first one, I thought that was it. I thought there was no way I could come back for the win, and so I was really just fighting for a podium. And so, yeah, towards the end, I was just focusing on making sure to keep it in the track limits.
All right, well, congrats on your debut win in Tier 2.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Good fun.
Yeah, and good points for the Alfa Romeo boys.
Indeed. So appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, congrats again.
All right. I mean, we got everything we needed out of that interview. I think we can wrap it up here. Not much to say from me. The main takeaway from that race is you can never trust Jeff when he tells you that it's 20 minutes until rain. Sometimes it might mean 35 instead of 20.
Yeah, definitely. And very, very nice, clean race from T2. We have what is the next race? So many tracks, so many tracks being banned. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
It is Monaco in the nighttime next week. So that'll be a very fun one.
Yeah, that should be quite interesting from both of these.
Yeah, if people were frustrated with not being able to pass this race, they will be more frustrated in a week's time. But thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for hanging out and taking the lead there, Tact.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I should have got myself some water before I sat down, but you live and you learn.
Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you, I think, Saturday ACC.
Or F25 tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. F25 tomorrow. Kia should be streaming that. Yep.
Yeah.
We are at Vietnam.
Ooh, good freaking luck with that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, folks.